Hey, let's talk about it, cause honestly we need to talk about social issues, just uplifting my people. Yeah, let's talk about it. Come join the conversation. A connection's what we're creating. Yeah.
Boom. Let's talk about it. Good morning. So check this out, right? Normally, whenever I make a video or whatever, or whenever I'm, having a thought, I always preface it by saying, I'm not a pastor. I'm not, nothing like that. But I shouldn't even have to say that because, everybody knows, right? But I try to find a message in any small little thing, right? And yesterday I woke up and I went to cut something, right? So I opened the drawer, got the knife, right? So it was several knives there. But I grabbed the knife, the biggest knife or whatever, and I was going to cut something, right? Only to find out that that knife was dull. And I was so upset because I'm looking at it like this knife, like it is pristine, it is shiny, it's, it was the biggest knife in the drawer, but it was dull. And in that moment, I thought of something, right? A lot of us live life like that knife. You see, we look the part. We look shiny. We look, this, that, and the other. But when you try to cut, it's dull. And see, a lot of times that happens because so many people are worried about how the world views them. So many people are worried how the world views them. So people want to seem like they have it all together. That's why when on social media, people will be posting about how, they God is good and blah, 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 right? That's because that's the popular thing to say. People will be posting about how they're going to make their quote unquote haters mad all year. Get ready to this, that, and other, because they feel like that's what everybody else is saying. But when they put that phone down, they're dull. They have no power because their focus is on things that don't matter. Now, I'm not a Bible scholar, but I remember in the Bible after, Jesus fed the 5,000 people, right? It says that he went up into the mountains because he had to isolate himself, right? He had to, he just isolated himself. He went up and did that, right? But what he did was he sent the disciples away. And when the disciples got on the boat, they went out in, the water and a storm came. If I'm remembering this right? A storm came. And when the storm came, they began to panic. They was, oh my gosh, what's going on? And this, that, and the other, right? And they began to call on God. Oh, God, help us, this, that, and the other. And they became discouraged because a lot of them started thinking, why would God send us in a storm? Why would he send us in a storm? But what I gathered out of that is, and the moral of that is that so many times we are going through something because we haven't learned the lesson. Now, see, God had delivered them many a times. But yet and still, when they faced the problem, they was worried about why God did it. In our lives, we have went through stuff so many different times and God has brought us out. But every time a problem comes, we feel like it's the end of the world. Think about that. I have been through situations in my past that God has brought me out. But every time that situation comes up, I feel like, God, are you not hearing me? Like, what is going on? But then I look back and I'm like, God has always brought me out. And I say that to say this. How you view God is how God shows up. I'm going to say it again. How you view God is how God shows up. So for some people, God is just a protector. But guess what? In order for him to protect, something has to be happening. So if you're viewing God only as a protector, you got to go through some stuff so he can come up and show out. That means you have to be in these situations that he has to come protect. Now, I say that to say this. If you're only looking at God for protection, how can you then turn around and be upset that things keeps happening? See, what you have to understand is your perception of God is powerful. See, back in the old days, the older saints, they just say, God is Jehovah Jireh. He's my provider. They named the many things that God is. And that's how God showed up for them. There's people that only pray for, prosperity. So yes, they are getting all of this stuff. There's prospering, but they are living in so much inner turmoil, but they have things. Because guess what? That's the only way that they view God, is for prosperity. See, what you have to understand is God is many different things. He is many different things. And that's why I said the other day, you have to go back to the old time. Those songs have power. You are speaking things to existence. And that's what this generation don't understand. Sometimes there's certain people that only pray when things are happening. That's it. That's the only time that they pray. So things have to happen for you to start talking to God. And then as soon as God shows up and shows out, you back doing the same thing. How you view God is how he's going to show up. And I've had to learn this. So now I don't just look at God as he's my protection. I look at God as he is my everything. He is my all in all. And for a lot of people, they might skip this video because I'm speaking so much about God. But this is my thing. Let's just say that, and I don't believe this, but let's just say, okay, God's not real and this, that, and the other, right? But you have lived your life with morals and values. Have you lost? Have you lost? Now, I believe and I trust in God. I know that God is everything to me. He is everything to me. So I don't have a problem, coming on a public platform and saying all of this stuff, right? Because this is what I believe. And God has showed up for me in so many different ways. Once I start understanding that how I view him is how he's going to show up. I don't view him just as a healer. Because if I only viewed him as a healer, he's only going to show up when I'm sick. So guess what? When he needs to hear from me, I need to get sick. I don't look at him as, okay, yeah, he's my provider. Because in order for him to show up, I got to be lacking, monetarily. So I say all of that to just say this. Sometimes in this life, you have to take a hard look at yourself. I'm talking about a real hard look at yourself. And for a lot of people, that is hard. Because you have to be honest. You have to be able to look at yourself and you have to be honest. Some people out there, they are in the same situation year after year simply because they're comfortable. That's it. They don't want growth. So anyways, man, I hope I didn't get too deep, this morning or whatever, because, everybody's going to have fun Memorial Day and this, that, and the other, right? But in that fun, when you're going to have that fun, just remember how you view God is how he's going to show up. And if God is your all in all, you ain't got to wait till something's going on to pray. Set a timer. Set a timer when it's your time to pray. Because what you pour in is what you're going to get out. If your life, it seems like upside down, ask yourself, what's your prayer life like? What's your prayer life like? I'm in the gym all the time. And let's just say if I took a couple weeks and I know I wasn't going hard, I can look at myself in the mirror and be like, okay, I see, I need to go harder. I need to go harder because I'm looking at myself. That's what we need to do in our prayer life. That's what we need to do as a whole. Look at yourself. Are you going hard enough? Because if you're not going hard enough, I don't want you to be on social media complaining. I don't want you to be on social media complaining, talking about ain't nobody there for me, this, that, and the other. Listen, your best investment is yourself. That's your best investment is yourself. God has placed something in all of us. While you sitting up here crying about why these people ain't, you ain't went to the man who can. And if you have went to the man who can, the only time that you go to it is when you're in a situation. That's it. So anyways, man, I love y'all. Thank y'all for the support. And y'all have a great Sunday.